Don't be weird.
Sorry.
No.
I'm grabbing the shaft of my wood all wrong.
You got to try and get in that dirty hole.
Yeah.
Let me see your ball.
Don't worry. They've got ball washing stations.
They do. And it's very satisfying. Just up and down with the hands. As the brushes clean your balls.
Mine are always a crank. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, they're always up and down.
No, you got to crank your ball.
Nah.
This dude hasn't golfed.
I doubt it.
Yeah, not for years.
I think he has, but yeah.
Yeah, my fucking clubs are upstairs.
I think I gave you shit for having golf clubs.
I believe you did, yeah.
So, we're going to go golfing sometime?
Yeah, I'm in. So long as we're not, like, actually playing, because, oh boy.
Welcome back to the Bad Games Cast. No.
No, that was perfect.
That was fine.
You stumbled. So try again.
Do it again.
No.
Yes.
Take it.
Welcome back to the Bad Games Cast. Jesus Christ.
I'm leaving that in.
Welcome back to the Bad Game Cast. This is Jake.
This is Alex.
This is Jason.
And this week we sported.
Sports.
What do we play?
Rugby 15.
On PlayStation 4.
Yes. I guess that's important because it came out on everything. Like most sports games get like really wide releases. Like most major sports franchises can be found on every console.
This game I read is far worse on PlayStation 3.
Probably.
Give me a second here. Ow. Broke the thing off.
That's definitely going in.
My tip. Son of a bitch.
Yes.
It came out on what? PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PS Vita and Windows.
It came out on the Vita?
Yes, it did.
Oh, man. I really want to know what that version's like.
There are no critic reviews for the Vita version, only user reviews.
Why would... What?
So, released in November 2014 for Japan and Europe. Released in the UK in January of 2015, and in the US, February of 2015.
Man, what an afterthought.
The giant rugby market that the US is, yeah. So I went with games released in 2014 for this one to go with the, I guess we're global release if you're counting, EU and Japan together. Let's see, Child of Light, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Divinity, Original Sin, Destiny, and Far Cry 4.
What the hell's Destiny?
It's a game where when you play it, it makes other people rage quit a console.
Oh, right.
Heyo.
Was that like the first release of it? Or was that when they finally actually, made a finished game?
No, that was the initial release.
Okay.
Have they ever finished that game?
They gave up on it for Destiny 2, so no.
Yeah.
Everybody else gave up on Destiny 2.
They wanted more money, so...
When they were announcing that game, since we're talking about Destiny, they were saying like it would be something like 5 years before the next sequel.
It was a 10-year.
10 years?
10 years they were promising of releases.
And I remember hearing that. I was working for GameStop at the time, and I'm like, that's bullshit. There's no way that they would sit there and just, no, we're not going to make another game. We're not going to sell another 100 million copies or whatever the fuck it was.
Like an idiot, I bought into the hype. I was super excited for a game that had 10 years of support, and like how well that went for me.
I have a lot I could say about Destiny, but...
Right, we're talking about Rugby 15.
Talking about Rugby.
The best sport game ever.
Those were words in an order that are wrong.
I'll fix the order in post.
Hold on.
The sports game ever.
It's sports harder than other sport? Let me say it weird then. The best sport game ever. So, without the risk of sounding like a super nerd, I've been over this before. I don't sport, so gentlemen, please, this one's all you guys.
So, Jake, what are from this game? What are the rules to rugby?
So, the teams, which I believe are referred to as armies, march out onto the field on either sheep or emu, depending on east or west. The west, of course, gets the emus. The east side gets the sheeps. It is important that both teams...
Have you rehearsed this?
He clearly started to rehearse it, but then again, didn't think far enough ahead.
Oh, I'm not finished. It is important to remember that as you ride in on the animals respectively, you need to be blindfolded and facing the other direction. Otherwise, the opposing team's archers have a free hit at you. Now, I believe the goal of the game is to carry an egg on your forehead.
I'm trying to waterfall this beer while you're talking, and you just don't shut up.
I've been thinking about this all day. Like, just, what are the rules of rugby? I have fucking no idea.
I looked it up, and I hardly understand it. I follow football very, very closely. American football.
Yeah.
And I have no fucking idea half the time what's happening in rugby. There's a ball.
Mm-hmm.
It is like a rounded off American football.
Yeah, it's a bit more round, more egg-shaped.
Yes. You have to take that ball from, I guess, your side into their end zone. I don't even think it's called an end zone in rugby, is it?
You have to get it to the end zone. I don't remember if that's his official name or not.
Okay.
I believe it's Westchester to Northfield.
And so then once you get the ball in there, then you got to touch the ball to the ground. It's not good enough that you just in the end zone. You have to
touch it down.
Right. Oh, but it's not called a touchdown.
Correct. It's called a try.
It's called a try. And then what? I guess after the try, then you got to try your little kick, right? But for some reason, you can pick where you kick from.
Kinda, yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, why wouldn't you just put it as close as possible every single time?
Well, I'm pretty sure in actual rugby, there's ways to get extra points.
I don't think so.
But I don't know. It's weird.
How many points is a try? Is it 6?
5.
5.
I believe. And the point after is 2.
See, I thought it was
still
32
7.
and 16.
And then if the opponent commits a penalty, you can kick field goals.
You can also punt at any time.
Yep.
And I get that. That's actually, I think, pretty cool. Because you can punt the ball down the field, and maybe if your guys are fast enough, which in this game they always seem to be, you can get the ball. But as far as like a ruck or a scrum, I don't know the difference. I don't know the point. I don't know how they work. I just press buttons, and then hopefully I get the ball.
I know there's no forward passing,
Right. Only laterals.
Which in an actual game of rugby I'm sure is exciting. I know it is not in this game.
Yeah, in actual rugby, the ball moves a lot.
Yep. Well, because not everybody's Bo Jackson.
Yeah, and so, like, you'll see someone come, and as soon as they really get, like, even sort of wrapped up, if they can find a teammate, they try to, chuck it back. Or if, you're making a wall. I'm not super great with rugby rules. I know more about sevens, because that's what the Olympics is, and I don't really follow rugby, except for then it was an Olympic sport, so I started following the Olympics.
I also know that when you're tackled, you have to give up possession of the ball. Like, you just have to leave the ball there and get up. And I think that is when a scrum occurs? To determine possession?
Maybe.
I don't know. But I do know that once you're tackled, you have to go with the ball. You can't, pick it up with you.
I thought a scrum is when the wizard finally cut off the head of the chicken and collected enough blood in the bowl.
I'm pretty sure it's something else.
Ooh.
So
we're not reviewing the game of rugby.
Yeah, as you can all tell, we're very well versed in the game of rugby itself. So coming into this game, I can't tell you how wrong it feels compared to actual rugby, but it's still super weird.
That's I agree with you. Like, not being, I can't even say versed in the sport. Like, I know nothing about rugby. And I know this game feels awkward when you play it. The way that the play stalls out anytime a tackle's made, and then you fight for control of the ball, and then you pass, run, or punt it, and then that awkward fight, and no one moves until you decide what you're going to do. It feels super awkward.
Yeah, that's super weird. The just like everyone stops moving while you make a decision.
That's not part of the actual sport.
No.
That's in the game. It's fucked up.
And in the game, it's not even like there's motion, like they're kind of swaying, waiting for you to do something. They literally just freeze, and it's really kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's a field-wide red light, green light situation.
Yeah.
So, how are the graphics?
I don't know. Early 2000s?
Yeah, I was going to say PS2 on a good day.
Yeah.
The crowd, people in the audience are cardboard cutouts.
Everything that is not the field is just like flat painted on.
Yes. Also, I found out all the stadiums are the same, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all the stadiums, you mean the one stadium that you play at and the weather changes?
No, some of them are different.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
It's supposed to be. There's also something weird with the license of this game. Like, some of the players aren't right.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand why. There's this one guy in particular. He's a white person in real life, and he is not a white person in the game. The name's the same. And then there's some other players that actually don't exist at all in real life. They're just made up.
This is weird when you're basing it on like actual teams.
Well, I mean, it's fucking weird. Like, if you play Madden, it's got all the right people in it.
Yeah, if you play 2K, Madden, any of the big sports franchises, part of it is that you have the actual roster.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know enough about rugby to notice these issues, so that wasn't an issue for me. The actual gameplay was a lot of the issues for me.
Sure.
There's nothing in this game. It's like, it's as shallow as a puddle.
So, the available teams that you get to play, is that all of them globally?
No.
Oh, not even close.
Really?
No.
I can't say that, I take it back. I am kind of surprised about that. And the game was developed by HB Studios, who does a lot of rugby and cricket games. Like, they do sport games.
This is not their first time.
No.
Oh, not even close.
Like, nor their last one, and how they ended up shitting the bed so hard on this one is anybody's guess.
They even made some of the Madden games on the Wii, which aren't known for their quality, but that's a big name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scarecrow Madden, I mean, that old bastard sells games, I hear.
He was also a good football coach at one point.
Is that what he did?
Yep.
I always wondered, like, why anybody gave a shit about old man John Madden, but...
He won a Super Bowl with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
The Raiders won a Super Bowl?
Against the Eagles.
God, you're hilarious. Just like the fact that you feign surprise when there's literally no way you would have known this.
I
See, but would it surprise you to know the Browns have never won a Super Bowl?
no.
See.
The Browns are terrible. Everybody
You know
knows that.
they won the league the year before the Super Bowl was created.
I'm shaking my head.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
You're done.
I don't know anything about Tackle Guy.
You should just make up the names. Because he won't know the difference.
I could. He wouldn't.
The Cleveland Knapsacks.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the studio right now, and it's all sports games.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what surprised me, and this might be very common, I honestly don't know. Being a fan of games, not a professional critic, that it was published by two different companies for the global release and the North American release specifically. Big Ben Interactive covering the global release, and Maximum Family Games covering the North American release.
Maximum Family. No?
Well, what surprised me about that is, like, they publish games that I've heard of. Like, they did Myst. And they do the Farming Simulator games, which I've never played, but I'm familiar with the franchise.
Sure you haven't, Iowa boy.
I think those games would be pretty fun.
And what I think is the most important one and why I remember them, Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment.
Yes.
For that creepy Watson.
Yes. That's actually not that game. You mean the one where he constantly follows you around?
Yeah, and I know that wasn't the actual release.
Okay,
but
it's that franchise though.
Yeah.
Those games are really cool.
Are they?
I think so. And they're easy trophies.
Trophy hunters out there, pay attention.
How you doing? 10 rules all back once again.
Tips and tricks, baby.
Hey, he remembered his handle this time, so that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, but let's see where I am when we're done.
No, I think we're done.
Are we done?
This game is nothing.
We're at 705 minutes.
That's definitely how that works.
So, yeah, the options you get in this game are quick match. Yep, that's pretty much it.
You can do a quick match. You can do a cup that you devise.
It's a tournament.
Yeah. Or you can play one of their, is it like 6 preset tournaments?
That feels about right.
Damn.
Meow.
Well said.
Work up a bigger one.
There's no franchise where you get to control a team through season. There's no... I don't even know what you call it. And
My player.
No career mode, I guess.
yeah.
Not that you really want one. Although I guess with rugby it would be kind of fun.
I think you would, like, because, I don't know, basically every other sports game has included that for the last 8 to 10 years?
Something like that.
These
Probably
are
longer.
These are basic game modes. Like, the first Dynasty modes that I can think of where you, like, control a team is...
N64.
Yeah,
for me.
like...
I remember Madden 03, I played a season mode.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's early 2000s in Madden.
No, wait, that was...
And NCAA was 2004, 2005.
Yep.
See, and even not being familiar with sport games, it feels lacking. Like, it seemed weird to me that all you had was make a tournament, play the union teams against each other, or play whoever you want. Like, it boils down to an arcade quick match every time.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what they were going for. But all of that is kind of bullshit when the game itself doesn't even really play right. You know, the controls are such shit, and it's so funky. And so that whole quick match arcade feel, it doesn't really come through. It's not even fun. I guess it's fun because it's so bad.
It's fun in that things happen that you don't think should happen. Like, if you pick up the ball, suddenly it'll switch to another person.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, not another person like the character in the game. No, another person playing. If you're playing multiplayer, like, I'll pick up the ball and all of a sudden someone else will be controlling that character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's jarring and weird. Well, admittedly kind of entertaining in how chaotic it is. And it does make it difficult if you're actually trying.
Yeah, it's solidly entertaining because of how insane it is for, like, one match.
Of course, no matter who you're playing against, the enemy AI is...
Enemy.
Non-existent. The opposing team AI, is that the correct terminology?
Okay, so did any of us play on not easy?
I attempted it on normal.
Yeah? How'd that go?
It wasn't much different than easy.
Yeah, I played on normal, and I thought it was the same. But I read something about a difference. Like, I think it's if you play on hard, you know that stupid meter that you have to hit, and you got to hit in the green or some shit. So I heard that's a lot more forgiving on hard than any
Weird.
other. Yeah. Because if you hit it in the other colors other than green, like, you have a more likely chance to get a penalty.
Yep.
And it's like, I think you're less likely on hard. That's what I read.
Because I never had issues like... Once I figured out how to do it, I basically never drew penalties, and I always got the ball. So if they tackled me, I would just immediately grab the ball again and keep running. And as soon as I got the ball, they never got the ball till the end of the game.
Yeah, because they can't catch you.
Yeah. You're faster, better, stronger.
Do your attributes matter?
Like,
Are you fast regardless of who you're playing as?
Maybe. I always felt better than the computer.
It does matter in that how big your stamina gauge is. Because even if you're technically slower than the opposition, as long as you have enough stamina, you can still outrun them, as far as I've seen. Now, admittedly, I didn't put as much time into this game as I have other ones.
Basically every other game?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know all there is to know within like 2 or 3 matches.
Yeah, you play a game, you've seen all that it has to offer, and it ain't a whole fucking lot.
Like, I've played rugby games before this one. I played one on PS2, and I played the World Cup one on the 360. Both of those games have way more content than this. Even the World Cup game.
Do you know which World Cup it was?
Is it... I don't know the years that they had it. I want to say like 11.
2011?
Okay, yeah.
It's made by the same studio.
Is it really?
Yes.
I like that game, though.
Well, that's... supposedly, from reviews I've read, their older games are better.
So who was hired?
I don't know. Someone left or something happened, and then they tried to... And it's just bad now.
So have they made anything good lately?
Lately, they got... Rugby 15 was bad. Rugby World Cup 15 also got panned.
What about Golf Club 2? Right, I mentioned that one earlier.
Golf Club 2.
I heard that one was pretty good.
I don't know what RBI Baseball 2016 is. I know that's not most baseball fans' baseball game of choice.
Oh, yeah, well, because there's only one now on the PlayStation. I think RBI Baseball was made by Major League Baseball. Or whatever. They paid for it.
Really? They don't do the MLB games? Like, geez, it was the last one, like the show or some bullshit.
The show. Yeah.
They still make the show. They don't make 2K Baseball anymore.
Yeah, the show is the game that's like...
That's the baseball
is the game of choice.
Yeah.
That's a big reason why I still have a PlayStation.
If I was going to play a stickball game, it'd be that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the patience for a whole fucking season, but...
Yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
And they also made whatever Mark McMorris's Infinite Air is.
Your what hurts?
It looks like snowboarding.
So, is there an online?
No.
Nope.
There's not an online. There's local multiplayer.
And you know why there's no online? I read a quote.
No one wants to play it?
Basically that they wanted it to focus on the core concepts of the game and getting those right.
Oh man, it's great when you focus on things and then you get them wrong. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Would you wonder what the fuck it was they were focusing on?
I think they were focusing on churning it out to make sure that they got some of their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they wanted to make it an annual release. Because they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think they make rugby games every year, or if they do, it's very recent.
Yeah, they wanted to be Madden.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is that though I know nothing about the sport and going into it, and I didn't want to look anything up about like how rugby is actually played, just to come into this as blind as possible. This game made me interested in how rugby actually works because I know this is wrong.
Haven't we played rugby before?
No.
Oh man.
You've got me drunk and we've played Madden.
I don't believe that shit for a second.
It has happened. Because you were hard up to play Madden with somebody, and I'm like, I fucking guess. And you're like, here, have beer. I'm like, okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Stupid stuff.
The game. It's over. Finished.
Yeah, you play a match, you win because the computer sucks, and then you go, I guess I'll do that again and again and again.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of done a poor job of describing how the game is played, but it's a shit show. It oh my god.
Yeah, it's so... The controls feel so weird when, like, certain buttons do, like, 3 different things depending on what you're doing.
Case in point. So, the first game that I played, sitting here by myself, I tried to attempt to try, right? That's the correct terminology?
Yeah, probably.
I went to spike the goal in the end zone.
Yes.
Nailed it. And I would end up kicking the ball. Because the game itself told me, because I was playing it on a PS4, I had to press X to attempt the try. Lols, nope, what you really have to do is press in R3.
Or L3.
Sure.
Both.
So, same time, hit that limit break.
And you score twice at once.
Every time I would get to the end of the field, I would just punt the ball away like a fucking asshole. I still won because I always had control of the ball because opposition AI is non-existent. But, like, I mistakenly got an attempt once, and I didn't know why. And I could never fucking kick the ball. In fact, my favorite part about this game is that every time I go for the field goal, because I failed every single time halfway through the game, the announcers were making fun of me, and it was a fucking riot. Like, it pissed me off. Because, like, hey, fuck you guys, I'm trying here. But they were, like, sarcastic and bitchy, and it was funny. And so, I'm sitting here, I don't know. It's bad.
It's so hard to review a game that, like, doesn't exist. I don't know what to say.
We drunkenly did it with Big Rigs.
Yeah, but Big Rigs is a great existential moment. Like, it's an experience. This was just dumb.
Yeah. And I think all bad sports games are going to be like this.
Oh, probably.
So it's kind of like maybe there's a reason we don't do a whole lot of sports games because there's really not a whole lot here. Like, it's rugby. I think the rules are in the game, the basic rules for rugby.
Like, I mean, it seems to have the rules down. It's just the way it goes about when you scrum or ruck. It's super weird.
Yeah. And, the referees are inconsistent with their calls, I heard. And so then there's no features to this game.
Yeah.
And so that's that.
I mean, that's a huge part of what it's missing and what sports games, good sports games, have done to develop over the years is actual modes that keep you interested for more than just like, oh, let's play a quick game with friends.
To Alex, to your point, that's another thing I didn't understand. Like the first game that I'm playing and the second and third, etc., I'm getting flagged for shit and I don't know what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I assumed it was because I was unfamiliar with the sport. But, like, today, before recording, Jason and I, we were playing. And, like, sometimes you just get flagged for a penalty and, like, you're just running, not doing anything. So, like, I don't understand what was happening.
Maybe you were offsides.
I don't know what that means in this context. I know both teams were on their respective sides. They should have been.
Isn't it a penalty like you can't be ahead of the ball? Because you remember when you were playing and I kept running in front of you? I'm pretty sure I should have been whistled for offsides. Like, you can't pass further than the ball in rugby. Because there's no forward passes. Pretty sure it's a penalty. Even, like, Tecmo Super Bowl on the Super Nintendo had a season mode. Like 3 years, I think. And this is just, hey, it's rugby.
Yeah.
We couldn't even get the teams right. We couldn't get the leagues right. We couldn't get the players right. Couldn't even get their ethnicities right. God damn it. Yeah, pay $60 for this.
Really?
That's what it was when it came out.
I have to assume it went full retail.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Full retail for fucking what?
The idea of rugby?
I mean, the menu's like pretty easy to read, right? It's just a bunch of stupid squares.
Yeah, until you try and start a game, then you have to fucking press X to select that you're actually playing, or press square and then X, and then like go to the next fucking menu, and God, it's a hot mess.
I have nothing else to add. It's not worth $5.
No, it's really not.
It's like I told Jacob earlier, this feels like a demo. It feels like something you would get on those magazine discs, those demo discs.
This does that feels exactly where it belongs. Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for the full Rugby 15.
Yeah, I'm having a weird time like contextualizing this game amongst all the games we've played, because this one just doesn't feel real. Like, they started a game, we're just like, that's probably fine. But they're like an actual studio. It's not like Big Rigs where it was like one dude in a basement in Serbia.
Hold on. It was a team of like 4 people and they were in the Ukraine.
But like, from this, like, all the games the studio has made, they're an actual studio.
Yes, they are.
How did they ever think this was gonna work? Like, they were like, hey, we're gonna focus on making Rugby bad. And so they did.
I don't know. They could have done worse. I mean, like, the fundamentals are there.
Sure, I guess they could make it.
Let me rephrase. I assume the fundamentals are there. Like, I just want a game where it's like Rugby 1800s, where it's village on village. Like, just, let's get weird with it.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you can play with a head or something.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well,
it's not a ball, it's a potato.
Or a real sheep stomach.
No, at this point, we're just going all in on, like, Blood Bowl rugby.
That's the way all rugby should be. I don't know if you've ever seen rugby played in real life.
No.
But they tackle each other and they don't wear pads.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about rugby going into it is it was fucking brutal.
Those are some strong and fast motherfuckers out there hitting you, and you got no protection.
This game does not feel like that.
No. It's like, I wish I could play rugby in real life. I get my ass kicked.
Yeah, as far as this game, I believe you guys went who you'd recommend it for. I'm with you guys. I can't say anybody should play this. If you like rugby, skip this fucking game. There's much better games. Rugby 06 looked much better than this. And I can only say that because I was watching reviews for other rugby games, and I was watching one for this game where this guy compared them to other rugby games and how hard this one failed. There are some out there that look fun. Not this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't recommend it for anyone.
No.
It's not even like it's bad to the point of being an example. It's just nearly non-existent.
Even if you are a broke, only child living in the slums of South America somewhere, and you fucking love rugby, and this is the only game you can afford, get something that's slightly oblong in shape and go out and run into the fucking trees. They will tackle you, and you'll have more fun playing rugby that way than playing this.
God damn it, that feels right.
I mean, you're not wrong, which is the bad part.
Shouts out to Brazil. How you doing?
Double shouts out to Brazil.
Do we have Brazilian listeners?
Probably.
We have Brazilian downloads. I wouldn't go so far as to say listeners.
Viewers, though.
Let me check this.
Why? Why are we doing this now? Can we just end the episode?
Three downloads from Brazil. Because you gotta insult every country that's, downloaded our podcast. You said that.
What are there, like 80 countries?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
You got anything for Germany? We had some fresh German downloads.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to stop you right there. Let's just pass on Germany.
we recently got one from Switzerland.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Nope.
I mean, that's basically it for the game. We got some listener questions.
Hit me.
Yeah. So, thanks.
Hold on.
Wait.
So, if you have any questions, you can email the badgamecast@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You can email thebadgamecast@gmail.com. I get those and sort through them, and please send more.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some people that aren't relatives.
We had one.
Cool.
Take it away, Jason!
All right, so,
What's the question, goddammit?
all right,
Oh,
first
wait.
one. What's the worst single level, area, or encounter you've experienced from an otherwise good game?
Blighttown.
That's solid. God damn.
You think I'd have an answer? Because I actually have access to these, and I read them ahead of time.
How long have you had to think about this?
Oh, I don't know, like a couple weeks. But I read them and I'm like, oh, I'll read that on the podcast. And it leaves my brain as I start playing something garbage. What games do I like?
While you're thinking about it, in Hollow Knight, where you have the giant pools of water and you've got that bullshit like mounds of spikes that you have to try and jump over, I attempted that before I could actually get through it repeatedly because I would make it just enough I thought I could do it, and that was fucking frustrating. But otherwise, Hollow Knight as a whole is fucking solid.
Well, yeah.
Because I agree with Blighttown, but I don't want to say the same thing.
I don't know about that one, though.
I really don't have an answer. Other than stealing our listener's answer.
Oh, what was their answer?
The lightning dodging area / minigame in Final Fantasy X.
Never played Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
Wow.
no.
There's a section where, like, the screen will flash white and you have to press a button to dodge lightning. To get one of the ultimate weapons for one of the characters, you have to dodge 200 consecutive bolts of lightning.
I hear lightning in Final Fantasy, and I'm out.
Right?
Yeah, after that whole nonsense.
So
Go back, listen to Final Fantasy 13, see how much we loved that game.
So I'm going to put this one out there. Water Temple.
Again, I didn't really play Zelda.
right. I'm torn with the Water Temple because is it bad or is it just hard?
Yes.
See, that's the thing is, like, you know, you mentioned Hollow Knight. In one of the expansions they put out, there's a section of the White Palace called the Path of Pain, which I have yet to complete. It keeps killing me. Constantly. But I don't hate it. It's just really hard.
The section I was doing, I only hated it because I didn't have the necessary shit to get through that section, and I was trying to force my way through it. So I would get just far enough that there was hope, but it wasn't ever going to happen. And it's my own fault for throwing myself constantly at it. But, god damn it, never say die. And then I rage quit the game for 2 weeks.
Yep.
All right. Great answers, everyone.
Yay! Bad Games Cast.
Oh, hey. Speaking of Hollow Knight, this next question brings that up.
Hey!
How do you feel about games that use indirect storytelling methods, a la Hollow Knight, Transistor, Dark Souls? So, do you like games that force you to explore to find all of the, you know, lore and meaning of the world, or how do you feel about games that give it to you straight up?
Okay, so off the bat, I want to say it depends on the game, because you don't have to be heavy-handed for me to want to seek out the story. It really depends on the gameplay. Dark Souls, I enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy the combat, the exploration. It makes me want to seek out more. Just most things about that game, I enjoy. The setting, the combat, the movement, the item descriptions, which you really have to dig through. A Hollow Knight gives you a little more than that. Mm-hmm. And in that case, it gave me just a taste, made me want to seek out more. But I've played plenty of games where the story is, just bashing you in the face the whole time and it's boring as all hell. So I guess it really just depends on the story they're trying to tell. It almost doesn't matter whether or not they're spoon-feeding it to you or not. A boring story is a boring story, whether or not they tell you what it is or not.
Yeah, I like when they give you enough understanding and lore just through the main section that you realize that there's more for you to explore. And, it obviously especially helps the actual just like how good the game is. I've talked at length. I love Hollow Knight. And as you say, as you go through, if you just do the mainline like quest, you'll get a peek at the world. And as you see that, and I loved the game. I just wanted to explore like every corner and talk to everyone. And then you get the Dream Nail and you can read people's minds. And so I did that to like every character in the game. Because it provides interesting, insights and stuff.
Yeah, there's more there if you want to seek it out, but you wouldn't necessarily have to.
Yeah, I really like that. But you can go too far with setting your lore aside. We were talking earlier about Destiny. And I want to real quick say, the lore of Destiny is you're undead, kill those evil aliens. I don't actually know anything about Destiny. I played the game. I don't know anything about Destiny.
Yeah, I can't tell you what the story's about, and we played through it several times.
Yes, we did. And I could, but because I would seek shit out in the Grimoire.
And they wanted you to do that.
Yeah. But I liked the setting. It made me want to do that. However, I 100% understand how there isn't enough there that would make you want to do that.
Yeah. So I never felt the need to go through this external thing to learn about the world. I felt that it had removed it too much for me to really, understand it. So, you can go too far. But, yeah, when they're just, they feel the need to explain everything is also really tedious.
Okay, so answer the question. Which do you prefer?
I prefer if they let you... It's a balance, I prefer that they give you a little bit of information, but really just enough to understand and then explore the world.
Okay.
A la Hollow Knight, Dark Souls. I really like that kind of exploration and finding all the pieces to put it together yourself.
So you don't want it spoon-fed to you, basically?
Not at all.
Like Life is Strange, things like that. Yeah, I think I agree. The game has to make you want to go that extra mile. And unfortunately, yeah, like you guys said, a lot of those games don't do that. Dark Souls, as you mentioned, or Demon Souls, makes you want to do that. Something about that game, it grabs you and you want to know more. You're willing to read through all the fucking item descriptions, of which there are many. And there's lots of really interesting tidbits. And there's, YouTube channels out there where they piece it all together for you. And,
yeah, one guy in particular who's done a shit ton of work in it.
That's right. But on the other hand, there's games, one that comes to mind is Watch Dogs. There's a lot of extra stuff out there in Watch Dogs to go get. I don't know how much of that you played, but it's I just don't care. And part of it was that the game is a chore to play. So it's interesting because it is a question a lot I hear of, is story important in video games? And I don't think they're mutually exclusive at this point. You have to have a good story and good gameplay. And you could have the best story in the world, but if the game's not fun to play, then it's basically just a movie.
See, to go off on that, I kind of disagree. A good story will keep me going. I was telling both you guys, Ni no Kuni 2, I finished. I'm still going through endgame content. I liked the story in the first game a whole lot more. But the gameplay in Ni no Kuni 2 is a whole lot better. But, if I had to think which one I enjoyed more, I enjoyed the first one because I thought the story was better. I mean, it didn't help that I didn't hate the gameplay going into it.
Well, my point is that you have to want to play the game in the first place.
Fair enough.
And if the game isn't fun to play, I'm not going to want to play it. So the story could be the best fucking thing ever, but if I'm not having fun, then it's not worth getting into, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree with Alex here. The actual gameplay of the game is first and foremost. If the game is...
Barely. I
Yeah.
mean, it's close.
Because if the game is actively bad, it'll ruin anything.
Hmm.
If, you can have a great game with a mediocre story and just still have fun just playing a really well-made game. It might not be your favorite game or, a really in-depth game, but you can still have fun with it. But if the game is a chore, you're never going to have the opportunity to have a good story because no one's going to want to play it.
Or if you do make yourself play it, you might start to resent it and hate the story anyway.
Last question, which is basically for me and Alex, because Jake is the point of the question. If you had the opportunity to embarrass Jake in a Pokemon battle, which Pokemon would you choose to inflict maximum shame?
Just one?
I mean, if you got...
I don't know. I mean, first of all, Jake plays Pokemon, don't you?
You can't handle my Articuno.
See?
Yeah, see, he's using a legendary, so clearly, he doesn't actually know how to play the game.
Yeah, I haven't played through a Pokemon since Blue. I have started them, but I haven't actually completed one.
Pick a Pokemon to embarrass him with?
Yeah, so, I would probably use a Leftovers Blissey and Toxic Stall him to death, as he sits there just weeping, as he can't actually kill my Pokemon.
That is a good one.
That, or maybe a Power Trick Shuckle, as he gets beat to death by a weird little turtle thing.
How about... No, come on. That would so be not fun for you. It would just... What's the point?
Isn't that the idea?
I
right?
guess.
Yeah,
God damn. I would be like, no, fuck this. I'm not playing with you guys. Oh,
yeah, I want to punish him.
God, my first...
Fuck you guys. You didn't even get to hear my shitty team. You're just going into it.
I know.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Just give me a Metapod with Harden and Tackle, and we'll make this thing last forever.
Damn.
Or I'll use a Magikarp and use Splash until I run out of power points, and then I'll just struggle you to death. That would be pretty embarrassing. But it's who's he using? Is it just him? Are we just attacking him with random Pokemon?
It's just me.
That'd be great.
Your Pokemon.
Stomping on my poor Metapod over here.
Yeah, fuck your Metapod. Fuck your Magikarp. I'm gonna cook and eat that bitch.
He's level 19, though.
Oh, shit. So, still useless.
It's I'm tempted to pick my favorite, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah? What you got?
My favorite Pokemon?
Yeah.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Any generation?
Yeah.
It's Gen 1. I don't even know why I ask. I think it's Arcanine.
Solid choice.
That's probably my favorite.
See, that's why I said Articuno. That's my favorite Pokemon.
I use Arcanine every chance I get.
I mean, it's easy for me. My favorite Pokemon is Garchomp.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Landshark?
Sure. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's a sand dragon. Ground dragon type. He's awesome.
OP.
Oh, yeah. Well, less so in the new game, but oh, man.
It's I don't even know how far I am through Moon, and I own it. I would like to say that I play it, but I'm maybe 5-6 hours in.
Because I have Moon as well.
Fuck. I don't have Sun or Moon. Last ones I bought were X and Y. No, Alpha, Ruby, and Omega Sapphire. So I'm behind.
I realize the older I get, I don't want to grind with all my Pokemon. I don't have it in me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have my starter. He gets me through everything. Well, she in this case. And I don't care, honestly. And I couldn't even tell you the fucking starter that I have in Moon. I was a little owl thing. I don't know what the fuck its name was.
Rowlet.
Hoot Hoot. I was friends with a guy in...
It's Mr. Hoots, and it's a female, and that makes me laugh every fucking time.
I was friends with a guy who used to take a Doug Trio through the whole game, and that was his only Pokemon.
That is a fucking ballin' ass move.
And he was fucking good, too.
Dominated with Doug Trio.
That thing was super high level, because it's the only fucker he used.
Eh?
In good old days.
Especially if you're in Red Blue, then critical hits are based on speed, and Doug Trio is one of the fastest Pokemon in the game.
That's right. And that was Red and Blue.
Doug Trio is one of the fastest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
How the fuck does that work?
I don't know. It's underground and it moves around, I guess.
Ask Miyamoto, I guess.
Is it faster than Electrode?
I don't know.
I don't either. I want to say no.
I had to look this up. I don't think so. Fastest.
In Gen 1?
Yeah.
I think it's Electrode.
Oh, no.
No?
No, I was going to say, is it... Man, that's a tough one.
How you doing, everybody? This is 10 Rules All with you. Once again, Fireside Chat. And tonight on NPR, we will be talking about mason jars. What are they? Where do they come from? And who makes them? Tonight, joining me as always,
Electrode, yeah.
Yeah.
we have Wolfman
Electrode,
Jake.
Jolteon, Aerodactyl, and then Doug Trio.
I fucking called it.
Yeah.
You could have just trusted me the first time. We'd be out of here by now.
See, I've got Jolteon, Aerodactyl, and Mewtwo all at
I don't count
base speed 130.
I don't count Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Endgame Pokemon. And you can't get them before you've already beat the game.
It's
So,
like, what's the point?
yeah.
Because it's still fucking Mewtwo.
Fuck off.
Yeah, go to a competition and pull out Mewtwo.
So, yeah. Electrode, and then Jolteon,
Pull out
and
your shiny
Aerodactyl. And then
Mewtwo.
Doug Trio is tied with Alakazam.
I was going to say Alakazam, but I didn't think he was faster.
Yeah.
I know he's fast, but
Not that fast.
Nah, Alakazam is filled with bullshit and fail.
I like Alakazam. Especially in red and blue, you can catch an Abra pretty early.
Yeah, and then his special attack is crazy.
Yeah, and he evolves to level 16, and then you just trade him and you have an Alakazam. Done.
Yeah.
OP as fuck. So this has been the Pokemon podcast.
The Pokecast.
And you interrupted my NPR bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's all the letters.
Any plugs?
Alright. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Prey.
Is that it?
Not gonna throw down that YouTube channel that you abandoned?
Yeah, fucking why bother? Hey, now, hold on. I've been thinking. You've been not actually doing it, but thinking about putting some shit on YouTube. I'm not there yet.
I haven't put out a YouTube video since I gave up on Battlefield 1.
The right call on Battlefield 1? Yeah.
It took me a while. You can find me on Twitter as well at 10 Rules All.
Oh, almost stumbled there.
I know. And on YouTube as well, 10 Rules All. That's about it. Yeah.
On Twitter at The Bad Gamecast, or you can email thebadgamecast@gmail.com.
It's bullshit. You don't have your own Twitter.
Well, how to do that?
I don't know.
Nah, he runs a podcast Twitter. It's funny.
Okay. And maybe eventually the
You should just let me do it.
podcast subreddit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Facebook page too.
I haven't done it yet, but I probably will.
Yo, if you let me run the Twitter account, it'll be crazy.
Those eyebrows say you are not to be trusted.
All right. Well, I guess for the Bad Gamecast, I've been Jake.
I've been
Alex.
Jason.
This is 10 Rules All once again.
Good night, everybody.
We're really going to do Andromeda.
Yeah. Our listener suggested it.
Your family doesn't count.
Yeah, they do. They're half our listeners.
That's true. And my family, too.
Stop! God damn it.
It's nice. I like to do it. All right, I'm done.
Sounds like we're talking about masturbating.
I like to do it so the table makes noise. Pound the table.
Yeah, masturbating.
Yeah.
Ow.
I like how you've just lost control of your own body.
Well, I'm in trouble. And you're recording this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you chewing gum? Oh, no. He's eating something.
It's a Haichu.
It's a Haichu.
Say, don't be fucking chewing gum when we're doing this.
It'll be gone in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to swallow.
You don't have to wait for
We're talking
very
about
long.
masturbation?
When did we stop?
Oh.
You don't like it toothy?
Real gummy.
Toothy and dry?
Nah, I'm out.
I need a little something. What am I talking about? You done?
Are you done?
I don't know.
Am I done? What are we doing?
Wait for this dude to
What
stop
do
chewing.
we do?
I don't even know anymore. Yeah, this is the end show banter. It's what we add in. Awesome.
This goes on the bonus features in the DVD.
Yeah.
DVD. We are too cheap for Blu-ray.
I'm just imagining us releasing like
Wouldn't it be a CD?
no, it's black screen the whole time.
We got viewers.
But like we release our podcast on Sunday, and then Monday we just release all the chaff. Just like
What gets more views or listens?
Views.
nope, views.
Are we done?
Yes, we're
Rugby,
done.
terrible. I don't recommend it.
This has been the Bad Game Cast.